All right, let's see who's going to be watching. Yes, Murphy, look, there's Murphy. Oh, we have a commercial. Here we go. Hey, everybody. How are you? Hi, Catherine and Ms. Attitude, Wendy and Nicole. That's right, it's in the morning for you, Nicole. That's right, too. And Cynthia, hi, guys. It's so good to see you here. And Murphy's here. Okay, all right, he said hi. He can go now. So I apologize for the rescheduling, only because of the fact that Barbie contacted me and said, did you know that I was going live at from 10 till 12? So hi, Wendy and Nicole and Dolores from Alabama. Anyhow, Barbie let me know that she was going live from 10 till 12 with her big leather sale. I didn't, from Jeannie's Designs. I didn't know that she was going to be going live, or I would never have scheduled it at 11 o'clock here in the first place. But anyhow, I was able to reschedule it. Unfortunately, for some reason, I'm not getting her notifications from Facebook or from YouTube. So anyhow, but I'm so glad that you guys are all able to check this out. And we have 13 watching. So if you haven't said hi, say hi now, because I really do like to say hi to everybody and hope that I don't miss anyone. And let me know where you're watching from too, because I think that's great. Hey, Joni. And I hope you guys can hear me okay. And Nicole, you're not getting notifications for anyone these days. I don't know, Facebook, first of all, has done an upgrade again, and then it screwed everything up. I was going to say something else, but it screwed everything up. Hi, Brenna. You're welcome, Brenna. This is Brenna's bag that we're doing today. The Magnolia Rae tumbler pouch pattern, although I'm doing a modified version. And Maxine is from Alberta. And you guys can hear me okay, right? Because I think this time I have my old phone Bluetooth, old Jabra, that's got to be 20 years old now, hooked up. And that seems to be what works for my audio without it sounding like it's lagging or there's noise reduction or something. So we've got Joni and Maxine, Shelley and Wendy. And Shelley's watching from Minnesota. Oh, thanks, Wendy, that you can hear me perfectly. Yeah, I know. Okay, come on. And Murphy, he's got to say hello again. So, oh, that's great. Who all has made the pattern? I've made quite a few of these, and they're a real hit. And I even made another modified one for my mom. She wanted it taller to accommodate the tall wallet from Sonar. So I did that. All right, so let's get started. So this is Brenna's pattern from Sunshine Stitches. And this is what the pattern looks like. And this is a really, really cute bag. So here's the first one that I made. This has to be the cutest little bag that there ever was. And it's perfect. It's perfect for if you're going walking or just needing to carry your essentials and a couple of cards. And so anyhow, this bag, the feature of it, oh, I didn't do it. I was going to put it on my water tumbler so that you guys could see how it fits on my water tumbler. But on the back of the pattern, she has all of us testers that did it. So here's the bags I did. They're from, I used the Moriful leather from Emmeline Bags. So you can see how it fits on the tumbler with this little black back loop and a Velcro connector. So here's the back loop, and you can stick your strap, which is this strap, And I'll show you how it loops around the, see if I'm putting it on right. I'll show you how it kind of loops around your tumbler if it was on your bag. So, sorry, you know what the problem is? My little end tabs, strap tabs are too big for my, slide. Oh, there we go. Okay, so if you had it looped through this back loop, just like a belt loop, a huge belt loop as an example, then you put it on your tumbler like this with this really cool strap. Now I've got water in here, so I can't do anything with it. It slides. All right, and you pull it tight, and it'll loop around here, and it'll hold this onto your tumbler, which is really, really cool, because say you're at a yoga class or whatever, or you're out walking for the day and you carry a large tumbler, like mine's a 42-ounce tumbler. And if you're carrying something like that, it's really, really handy. Just to grab and go. And then also you can make it as a crossbody. You can make it and have a wristlet as well. But the feature inside, which is really cool, is it's a bound bag, and it has 3 card slots here, which is really, really nice. So it's big enough for a phone, and I have a Samsung S25 Ultra, and it's big, and it's the biggest Samsung. So it's big enough to put your phone in and zip it up. This is the bag that I use when I'm out walking Murphy. So I can carry my phone, I can carry my keys, my mail key, everything. And of course you can tell I use it to walk Murphy because I have a poop bag tied to the crossbody strap. Also with the pattern, you can purchase these really super great templates that have all the pieces, and they tell you what the pattern piece is. Like this is the main body pattern piece, and Brenna sells these too. Now, the link for her pattern is in the description box below on Etsy. So you can probably search on Etsy Sunshine Stitches for the templates as well. So it tells you the pattern piece, how many exterior and how many lining that you want. And this is a great little set. I always have mine hanging up on one of my hooks behind me. It has this little cable and everything. This is a really, really great set. So also before we get sewing, I just want to check for comments. Oh, Cynthia, yeah, she won the kit. And yes, thanks, Brenna. It's post the link. So Sunshine Stitches. So she's got the link posted, which is perfect. Oh, thanks, Karen, from Montgomery, Texas. And Dolores and Mizada too. I'm just looking at all the contents. Okay. Oh, templates aren't available at the moment. Sorry, haven't hooked the laser back up. Oh, that's right. You moved a couple of months ago. So, well, you might get people inquiring about your templates now, because these are awesome. Really awesome to have. Okay, so before we get sewing, I just want to let you guys know that I've been working really, really hard doing recording tutorials, and I've got 2 sitting in YouTube land. They have to sit there for 24 hours after you upload and all that stuff to get processed, and for YouTube to check it to make sure it's not AI and it's a decent video. So the 2 that I have sitting there are 2 patterns from Purses by Holly, and I'll be releasing these sometime soon, maybe in a few days. I want to try and get something out every 3 days. So this is the first one. This is the Lucy long wallet. So the tutorial will be coming. And this fabric is Sam Fabric Creation. Look at that pretty blue in the croco. This off-color blue is from our local Walmart, but there's a wristlet, and it has an ID pocket. You've seen Barbie make these. Zipper pocket, 2 slip pockets, and 8 card slots. And the lining is from Sam Fabric as well. So that tutorial is coming up. And to match this wallet is, I don't know if Ida from Norway is watching, but Ida contacted me last week and asked if I was going to be making the Andy backpack from Purses by Holly, and I have. So this is the other tutorial. I'll have to back up. Made to match this wallet, or the wallet was made to match this. And all fabric is from Sam Fabric. So this is really, really cool. There's a side pocket and a side pocket. And I've used that blue. It looks like black, but it's really a nice blue. You can just catch it there. And then this is just dark, very dark navy. And then this solid navy is also Sam Fabric. So it has two backpack straps. It has the zipper compartment, a large zipper compartment at the back, the slip pockets on the side. It has a twist lock, and there's the front panel. And then it has magnetic snaps at the side so that you can open this bag wide. It is huge. And there's the lining I used as well from Sam Fabric. And there's a zipper facing there for a zipper pocket. And then on this side, turn it this way, you can just see inside there's a double slip pocket. My lighting's not great. I'm going to have the sun swinging here fairly soon. We're south facing, and that's why I try to schedule my lives in the morning for me, because of the fact that the sun swings around here and it gets hot. I get cooking. So, but I wanted to make sure that I wasn't kind of interfering with Barbie's leather sale. So when she let me know, I'm just looking at, okay, so anyhow, so there's the Andy backpack. So keep an eye out. These will be published later on. So just wanted to show you those. All right, so with the modified Magnolia Rae, I'm not going to do this back. I already have a live recorded for making this, and I believe I also have a recorded tutorial on making the Magnolia Rae as well, the whole thing. So check those out as well. So I'm not making this back pocket. I'm going to make a crossbody strap. I might make a wristlet. I'm not sure, but the modified version is not making that. And instead of 3 card slots, I'll put 3 card slots here, but I'm also going to put another 3 on this side. So the fabric that I'm using is pink, Barbie pink from Sam Fabric. So the front and the back is this beautiful quilted pink, and the solid color is this solid Barbie pink. And then my lining is this from Sam Fabric. And this is a waterproof canvas with no backing. And it's about a 400 denier, which is perfect to make card slots. It's a perfect lining. And I really like using this fabric for lining. It's perfect. It works out well. All right, so what we're going to get started doing, oh, and I can't remember, you can't see it, but my thread that I'm using is, because I didn't have a Tex 45 weight in pink, it's not a color I usually get, but I'm using Glide thread, which is about a Tex 27-ish, and it's in fuchsia color. All right. Hold on, I'm going to turn you guys. How many have we got watching? Oh, we have 18. That's great. All right, we're going to turn you over. Now, I hope I don't drop as I move you down. I hope I don't drop my tablet is on a magnet. Okay, I'm going to have to pull my blinds down because the sun's coming in. I invested in these blackout blinds. Okay, there we go. Now, let's get you over here. Get my light over my desk so you can see what I'm doing. All right, does that look good, guys, or do I need to adjust it more? Do I need to tilt it down more? How's that? As long as you can see my sewing machine. You don't have to see me. I don't care if you see me. All right, how's that? I guess that'll do. All right, I'm just getting my pieces together. So what I'm going to work on first is pattern piece G, which is the D-ring connectors. And I have center line and double-sided tape on either side. And then we're going to work on the strap. No, I'm not making an adjustable strap. This is for somebody who's going to be having surgery next month, and she actually loves pink. I don't have any fear that she'll be watching this. Okay, Cynthia says it looks good. Perfect. All right, and then we're going to do the same. So I have, this is going to be a 3/4 inch strap. So my strap is 1.5 inches wide, and when it gets folded in, it'll be 3/4. No, I'll just be folding it in once. All right. So we're going to take our double-sided tape off the back of the D-ring connectors, and I'm using the quilt. And I'm keeping an eye on the comments, so let me know if you notice anything off. I'm trying to keep just to see the comments as well. I can't see them on my tablet, which is what I film with. Okay, and then of course, fold your raw edges into the center of the center line. And it's hot in here. I can feel the heat coming through that window, my windows. It's great in the morning when I don't have the sun barreling in on me, but come the afternoon, and I think I'm going to have to pull this one down too. But I had to get these blackout blinds because I couldn't work in here in the afternoon. I'd be starting at 6 in the morning, and then I'd have to quit by noon, 1 o'clock, because it was just too hot in here. And we don't have our air conditioning on very often in the summertime because we have 100-foot maple trees. We're surrounded by them, so it's a lot of fun raking in the fall. But they shade us all summer long so that we don't need to have our air conditioning on. All right, so there's my D-ring connectors folded, and then I'll do the same with my strap. I didn't want to do any of this. This is going to be, it should be a short live because this bag is I'm not doing the extra straps, and I'm not doing, the back. All right, so we're just going to fold our raw edges into the center on the strap. But if you guys haven't made this pattern yet, you've got to get it. It's a great bag. It's a cute little bag for your grab and go stuff. It sells well at craft markets as well. In fact, when I hit 1,000 subscribers, when I had my celebration, I gave a lot of the bags away as gifts. And I haven't figured out what I'm going to do for my 1-year anniversary, which is on July 7th. I can't believe it, 1 year with my YouTube channel. Made a lot of YouTube friends globally, which is so nice. It's nice to connect this way online because we don't do any traveling. So, and who wants to travel now with the gas prices? All right, we'll do the other side. Okay. I I might be folding this again in half. Yes, I have to fold this again, fold the two edges together on the strap because it, my hardware is 1/2 inch. So I want it to be able to fit into my swivel clasps. So chat amongst yourselves as I'm doing this, because usually when I do my videos, if I'm doing something like this, I edit it out. You guys don't see a lot of stuff in my videos that gets edited out. So all right, now I'm going to be folding this edge in half. Is the lighting okay? All right, I guess so. All right, as long as you can see what I'm doing. I've got my tablet tilted down, so it's hard for me to see. So I'm going to fold this in, but I'm going to put a strip of double-sided tape all the way down one side so that it will help stick. Oh, here it is right here. Will my 1/4 inch be too, no, my 1/4 inch is going to be too big. So I'm just going to clip. I'll clip my strap and then we'll stitch it. And all the clipping that I don't put in my videos, we all know how to clip and we all know how to fold our edges into the center. Is there anybody new here watching? And I hope everybody who is watching has said hi. I love doing the romper room thing just to say hi. But it's so nice to get together with everybody, and looks like Barbie had a good leather sale this morning. She should have room now to buy more machines. She got rid of a lot of stuff. I know this takes time. I should have had this done ahead of time, but this strap is it's probably about 55 inches long, approximately. And there's a lot of ways that you can modify this as well. Joni just said she added a front pocket for her phone on hers. My phone would be too big. I'd have to enlarge the bag. But I think iPhones are smaller if you have an iPhone. Hi, Janice from Georgetown. And MS Attitude, you say me. Does that mean that you're new here? Oh, I'm using all my clips just to clip this thing. I'm going to have to get myself some more of these metal clips. You can get them on Amazon. All right. Oh, well, welcome, MS Attitude, 1971. Thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate it. All right, what we're going to do is I'm going to sew the strap. And what I do when I sew my straps, I'm going to do two rows of stitching. I got to see where the camera is. All right, so I'm going to go down this side where we've got the folded edges together, and then I'm going to come back at this top end again and sew 1/8 of an inch down this side. In order to prevent your straps from twisting, because just with me taping this and clipping it, I can see that the vinyl is twisting. Always, when you start at the top to stitch down one side for top stitching, make sure you start at that top again and stitch down the other side. That will help prevent your strap from twisting. Okay, let's get sewing, guys. Hopefully it's not too hot that my vinyl's going to stick. Come on. When the humidity hits as well, I start to have trouble with my machine. I don't know if anybody else has that. It's almost like the belt slips. So I don't know if anybody else experiences that as well. I think I might, I don't know, we'll see if we're going to be doing 2 rows of stitches. This is pretty narrow. All right, it's going to get a little loud. I've got the air conditioning is just kicked in. And my vent is right under here. It's probably about 30 degrees Celsius out there now. I have to say I do prefer when it's cooler and actually winter. I don't do well with the heat and humidity anymore, not like when I was younger. And I used to be a lifeguard, and we used to cook ourselves to get tanned. We used to slather ourselves in Johnson's baby oil to get tanned. The silly things we did in the 70s growing up, I'll tell you. All right, back to the top. And let's see where the second row of stitching is going to hit on this side. Okay. No, it'll be good. It's not too narrow. Oh, Cynthia says, yeah, she remembers baby oil. We were crazy, weren't we? We were absolutely nuts back then. But we didn't have the UV or the climate change happening. I think climate change was starting to happen in the 70s with all the aerosols and then, of course, the all the chemicals that started getting put in our food. Like, none of us were overweight or anything like that. And that's when all the chemicals and all that crap started getting added to our food and the products. But yeah, baby oil, and the darker we got, the better, I'll tell you. This fuchsia color glide thread is really nice on this pink. Nope. Okay. All right, so there we have the stitching. I think you can see it. All right, so I'm just going to take my lighter, and these are pretty small ends, and what I usually do is I burn my ends, kind of melt them just to seal them. I was talking about chemicals. I'm breathing this stuff in. So I just kind of melt the ends. There we go. And I'll do that for the other end as well. And then we'll put our swivel clasps on and rivet them on. Oops, okay. Oh, I forgot to change out my rivet press dies. I put them now. Uh-oh. I switched my rivet press dies, and now I can't remember. Oh, here they are. Wrong drawer. Okay. So just let me quickly change this. Come on. Sorry, usually I have myself all more better organized. So MS Attitude says, my mom used to tell me if I came home any darker, she was disowning me. The good old days. Well, my heritage is Italian, German, Heinz 57, Canadian. And then on my dad's side, the Italians, German side, and of course we're British, Scottish, British, Irish. Like I said, Heinz 57. But on my dad's side, his mother was West Coast, British Columbia, West Coast Indigenous. So we're just a real Heinz 57 group of people here. All right, get 2 rivets and 2 rivet caps. I'll find them. Oh, here they are. And I think I said I'm using gunmetal. I think I told you guys that. All right, so I have my swivel clasps, gunmetal. So I'm just going to feed one end of the raw end. If this strap winds up being too big for my friend, then I can always cut it and adjust it for her. But let me see if I can punch the hole without, I'm going to clip this at the end here and see if I can punch my hole without it moving on me. And I'm just putting 1 rivet to hold the swivel clasp in place. All right, perfect. Put the post in and the cap. And then I'll press it. It's not straight. Oh, well. All right, now make sure, and I want to show you something about the hole punch as well. All right, swivel clasp, make sure that you've got your right side showing, that it's lined up the right way. Perfect. Okay. Clip that end again, and I'll punch it. I'm punching it through the stitches, unfortunately. Okay, center that. Okay. So there's our strap, just very simple, nothing fancy on the ends with the rivets. They're not centered, but they're not perfect. All right, what I wanted to show you about my punch was, one thing I was showing my brother, because when we were growing up, like my dad was a machinist in the Canadian Armed Forces, my brother's a millwright, tools, tools, tools. And I always said tools are boring and I couldn't be bothered. I was such a girly girl. Anyways, I was showing him all the tools that I have now for bag making. So I was showing him my hole punch and this little anvil on the bottom. He says, oh, when it wears out, because you can see here, there's marks from hole punching, and you just unscrew it on the bottom and then you turn it around. So this one that had this end here that has the really a lot of indentation there. See that? I've had this for a couple of years now, and I have worn this down to that point. It's probably, and I didn't understand why my hole punch wasn't working. And I got one of those sharpeners, like this, to sharpen it, and it didn't really work. And I had been fighting with punching my holes. Well, I turned this around. I unscrewed it and turned it around the other day, and I'm getting, my holes are being punched perfectly now and very, very fast with no effort. So if you're struggling and you didn't know this little trick that my brother taught me, then try that. Maybe you guys know it. I didn't know it. I was 66 years old when I learned this. And I'm sure that I can, because I got this on Amazon, and I'm sure that when I need a new one, that I can get another one on Amazon. Anyways, there's just a little aside for things. All right, so we've made the strap. I'm going to stitch down either side of my D-ring connectors. And that's a 1/8 inch top stitching on both pieces. Hi, Mona. Rip it and sew. Just trying to see who else. And Luann is here. And Cynthia said, when we lived in Florida, my daughter would get dark brown on her father's side. His skin is darker than mine. I now burn every time I go out. Yeah, no kidding. Like I would get dark, dark, dark. And it was always, who's going to get the darkest? Like there are 5 of us kids in the family. And my older sister and my brother who taught me that trick with the punch and myself were always dark, dark complexion, black hair. And then my other sister and my youngest brother, Chris, who when I've done lives, he's popped in to say hi. He and my sister, Debbie, were platinum blonde hair and very, very, very fair skin. But we always wanted to find out who would get the darkest in the summertime. All right, so there's our 2 D-ring connectors. Okay, so the next step is we're making the card slots. Now, I've already done 1 set of card slots here. So we're doing 2 sets. So there's 3 card slots here. Like I said, this type of fabric from Sam Fabric Creation is really, really good. I like using it, especially for card slots, because it makes a nice, crisp crease. And of course, my nails are long. I got to cut them. They grow like this every 2 weeks. And then, so I've already made the card slots and I've already sewn the wings on the one panel. And Brenna has a really great way of doing the card slots. So in the pattern, there's a measurement here, and then there's a measurement here. I gotta see where the camera is. And then there's a measurement here. And then there's another measurement here. Now they seem like they're far away, but there's a reason, and doing the card slots this way is really good. So this is the first line. We go, and she explains it in the pattern. The pattern is very well written. It explains everything well and very easy to follow. So we're going to bypass that line, and then we're going to go to the next line. Fold your wrong sides together. Make sure that your sides line up and fold along that line. I drew my lines on the right side, but see what I mean? But it really makes a nice, crisp fold. All right, so then we're going to top stitch across that fold, 1/8 of an inch seam allowance. And like I said, this is a great way of doing the card slots. Would have taxed my brain to figure out the measurements. Then go down to the next line and we'll do exactly the same. We'll fold it wrong sides together on that line, making sure that your sides are even. And then we'll top stitch across that fold as well. Getting a lot of commercials. I'm watching on my phone and on my computer. All right, and then the third line, the very last line, we fold that as well. Making sure that your sides are lined up. Okay, so right now your piece, and make sure when you do your lines, I mark a T on the wrong side so I know what the top is, and the top is where the shortest measurement of the line is. So this is what it looks like now. Then we're going to take the first fold and we're going to line it up right with that line, ensuring that our edges, our raw edges, are even. Get all my clips back in my container. And we're going to clip that fold at that line, ensuring that that fold is straight. And then I flip it over to the back, and then I fold it where it folds on the back and put a crease there. Okay, there's our first. Then take the next fold. This is what I love. And there's a certain measurement in the pattern to put it here. This one, a certain distance from here to here. And I'll check to make sure that mine are even with the other ones. Come down a bit. Not that it matters. They're not going to be side by side. And then clip those at the fold. So you've top stitched. And then I flip it over and press those down again. Those folds at the back. No complicated figuring out anything. You just have to measure your lines, top stitch those lines, and then you're good to go. And then you take that last fold and then fold it and make sure that these 3 folded edges are the same distance apart from each other. Perfect. And then clip them. Just make sure that I'm eyeballing it. All right, then I'm going to start from the bottom on each side, and I'm going to baste up 1/8 of an inch on either side. Don't start from the top because your presser foot could push those edges down, the folded edges, which will, you know, it'll send them out of whack. So just baste up your sides of the raw edges. And the same with the other side. Keeping everything flat so that you don't wind up with anything puckering. Oops, something's caught here. What is that? Oh, it's a piece of fabric. All right, just like that. And now we're going to take our pattern piece E, which are your side wings, and we're going to put them right side together. And I start at the top and put them right side together and clip down each side. Oh, Murphy's carrying on out there. Amazon must have just dropped something off. He goes nuts whenever the Amazon truck comes. Okay, so there I have each side clipped, and I'm going to stitch down each side at the seam allowance in the pattern, and then I will flip the edges open and top stitch. I like doing kind of a resurgence of patterns that haven't been seen for a while, only because I think, okay, you know, that kind of generates business again for the pattern designer, which is always nice because everybody goes gung-ho making the newest bags and stuff like that. But I like kind of doing a resurgence of the patterns that haven't been done for a while, and it just helps. I think it just helps. All right, so I've sewn them on. I'm going to open up these wings, and I'm going to baste down on this side of the fold on both sides. Not baste, I'm sorry, top stitch. All right, so now, and of course I already did my other card slot, so I have 2 card slot sections now. And we take the pattern piece, our pattern piece A, so I'm going to take my template and take it off my loop. Should have had it off to begin with. Do it where you guys can see it. Unscrew that. I'm going to take the template off. Screw this back on so that they all don't fall off. There. Okay. And then you take your pattern piece, lay it over top, center it over top, like line up the top, and then center it, and then trace around so that you get your pattern piece shape. So mark your center if you have to, because that could be slightly different after we sewn. All right, and lay your pattern piece over top, center it. Make sure it's straight. And then just trace around it. That's why these templates are so great, because it makes it easy to trace around. And if you're one of those gifted people who can use a rotary cutter around pattern pieces, good for you, because I sure can't. I trace everything and then I cut it out with my scissors. I'm not gifted. And also another trick for your pattern pieces what I do also is after I print them, I laminate each page that's been printed. Then I cut the pattern piece out after it's been laminated, and then I tape with packing tape, clear packing tape. I tape my pieces together, you know, A matching A kind of thing, and then I have laminated pieces which act like a template, but certainly I can't trace around them still as fast as I can with an acrylic template. All right, so I've traced the pattern. I don't know if you can see it. There we go. I've traced the pattern around, and now I'm going to cut that. I've mentioned it in my tutorials as well, but one of the things I have just discovered, the benefit of having really, really good fabric scissors. I thought I had great fabric scissors. I have these cheapy Dollar Tree utility scissors that I use to cut my zipper teeth with. And then these were my fabric scissors. These are Kai's. And I bought these at Lens Mills in Barrie. And I use this Fiskars scissor sharpener. You hold it like I hold it in my left hand. If you're left hand, you can hold in your right. And then I stick the scissors in and I just go like this. And this is how I sharpen my scissors, using this Fiskars scissor sharpener. Anyways, these Kai's I bought at Lens Mills, and the number on them are 1230. And I thought they were really, really great. But I was still struggling with cutting. And then I thought, I'm investing. I was Googling on YouTube all about scissors and, you know, what's the best scissors? And there's Guggenheim, and Country Cow sells the Guggenheim. And certain ones you can't get in Canada, or you're going to pay a lot of money for exchange currency and duty and stuff like that. But on Amazon, I looked at Kai's, and I got these 7230s. These cut like butter. Like, you know, when you have a really good pair of scissors when you're cutting wrapping paper, and you can just go without having to actually cut, and just run your scissors through the wrapping paper to cut it. That's what it's like cutting with these. Anyhow, just another tool that really helps. But boy, I'll tell you, these do the same thing as a good pair of scissors with wrapping paper. I can take these and I can just go, you know, kind of put, if I was on the desk, I could just kind of run these right up a line. They're really good scissors and highly recommend. I think I paid $79 Canadian on Amazon. The link might be in the description box as well, because I do talk about these in my videos. So, all right, so I've just cut out one of the pieces. And I certainly I don't get any hot spots on my hands. I don't get any blisters like I was getting with the other ones. Now, the only thing I do find is the way I hold them, like this, the accent stainless steel, you can see there's a bit of a ledge there, and my finger does rub on that and it does get caught. So I have to be conscious, like why they didn't go all the way around this curve up here, just like they did here, because that would have been a lot more comfortable. But anyhow, I'm very happy to have these. And every time I use them, I put them back in the little, not a super expensive case that they came in, but I always put them in there. And all right, so there are our 2 card slot pieces. And then I'm going to take my front and my back. Now I do have a bag tag, and I'm going to put it on one of these sides. Okay, I need my marker. All right. One of the things with some of the washers, I'm going to put an old bag tag on that says 360 handcrafted design. No, can't even read what it says. Handcrafted designs. It's one of my old bag tags. I'm trying to use these up as well. Anyhow, some of the washers that come, they're not evenly spaced. And this one has 9 holes. And I prefer the one that has 10 holes. Because what happens is when the prongs go through, the prong on this side, there's one left over. And the prong on this side is right at the edge. And there's no way you can center it. So if you were to center your prong or your washer on your fabric, it's going to be off kilter a certain way. So what I figured out to do is I take my Sharpie and on the bottom of the prong where the curve is, I kind of do a couple of go overs so that they're black. And then I'll take my bag tag and I'll center it where I think I'm going to want it. And then I push those prongs down, and there I now have marks right here and here. Can you see that? Yeah. Okay. So now I have marks that I can see where I want that bag tag to go, and it'll be semi-centered. All right. So now I'm not interfacing this bag at all. And because this is pretty structured, especially when you have all the layers for the card slots, and then this is fairly thick too. So I'm going to take a piece of duct tape, and I always slide it, put it underneath where my prongs are going to go and where I'm going to have to make my slit marks for my bag tag. And let's hope I got the center by eyeballing it. I didn't measure. I do a lot of eyeballing. I don't do a lot of measuring unless I really, really have to, but that's math. Okay, and let's put the prongs in. All right, and I just make sure it's straightened, and I put the washer on the back. And then instead of pounding or banging these flat, because you can see that they don't sit flat, I just push them against my desk. Same with my magnetic snaps, and that flattens them. And then I put another piece of duct tape over top just to secure them better and also to protect the fabric that might be going over top. And I could have straightened that a little better, but there we go. All right, there's my old bag tag. All right, so it doesn't matter which side is which. We're going to, I'm just going to put double-sided tape across the top. We're going to put the front and back together and baste those together. And then we'll work on the zipper gussets. I had a pair when I used to sew and make my own clothes and stuff like that. I had a pair of, at the time, Fisker's fabric scissors. And at the time, I mean, it was a lot of money. They probably cost $20 back then in the 80s, which was a lot of money for us, because basically at the time we lived paycheck to paycheck. And I was looking for them one day when I was sewing, and I couldn't find them. And my daughter Brenna had them, and she had taken them, and she had pins in something. I think she had secretly put pins in her wall to hang things up. She was just young, very little. And she had put pins in the wall, and she had taken my scissors to pull the pins out. Oh, I'm telling you, I absolutely flipped. Because, like I said, they were expensive for me, and my scissors were ruined, and I couldn't afford another pair. Anyway, yeah, those things that your kids do. All right, we're just putting the lining over top. Make sure you line up your sides and your curves. Get over that hump. All right, so there we have, and make sure that now in this case, this is at the bottom, and this is the top of the front panel. So make sure your card slots are going the right way. I don't think it really matters which way this is, as long as I have the card slots going the way I want them to go when I sew the whole thing together. Because believe me, I have sewn them wrong and sewn them upside down. Okay. All right, and I'm just going to baste these all around. I probably don't have to baste them because I already have, I've already got them taped, but I'll just baste them anyways at 1/8 of an inch. Just trim this bit of overhang because I do cut my linings a little bigger sometimes. Look at the comments. Oh, the Kung Fu Kitty. Oh, thanks so much for being here. Oh, that's great. Thank you so much for joining our 360 Handmade Bags group. All right, we're just going to baste these linings, card slot pockets on. Maybe having my lives in the afternoon is better, because I know that works better for Nicole being out in British Columbia and anybody else who's not Eastern Standard Time like I am. And then you're able to catch an actual live. Oops. All right, and we'll do the other one. Base that on. I can't talk and sew. It's like chewing gum and walking at the same time. Oops, thread broke. Just be careful with the glide. Like I am using it in my Jack industrial walking foot machine, but it will break a lot easier because it's not much. The text weight is very similar to Gutermann's Sewzall, but slightly heavier. If you're follow Juki Junkies, they do recommend glide thread a lot for bag making. And I used it a lot when I was sewing with my Kenmore, vintage Kenmore sewing machine before I got Jack here. All right, so there we have our two front and back panel with our card slots, the modified version of the Magnolia Rae. And now I have to follow the pattern. Okay, let's go to where I need to be now. Okay, done that. All right, so now we're going to assemble the zipper panel and gusset. All right, so get your zipper tape, and I get mine Zipper by the Yard on Amazon. It's 10 yards, number 5 zipper tape, and I get 10 yards and the zipper pulls with it, and it's about $20 Canadian. So, okay, so zipper pulls, take your lining piece B and lay it right side up. All right, so we're not putting the zipper pull on yet. All right, so pattern piece B. Okay, that's C. Which one's this? Oh, B. I didn't write it very well. All right, so pattern piece B, you have an exterior and a lining. So we're just putting the lining aside for the moment. Place solid lining, zipper tape, and exterior all together. All right, so I'm going to put double-sided tape across the top edge, the top raw edge of the exterior. And we're going to take our zipper tape. First of all, I'm just going to just melt the ends first, even though I still have my zipper pull. Now, I'm only using one zipper pull. You can use 2 zipper pulls, you know, put one on this end and then feed the other one on this end. I'm only using one. I find that if I have 2 zipper pulls, you know, to meet up in the top center, one always winds up being down at the bottom end of the zipper, and I only ever use one. All right, so center, you can have your centers marked, but take your zipper teeth. So for those that might be new, your zipper teeth are your right side up, and your exterior piece is right side up with the zipper tape along the top edge. Take your zipper tape, flip it so teeth are down, and center it on your exterior piece. I always cut my zipper by the yard longer than what's a little longer than what's in the pattern, and lay that along the top edge of your exterior, lining up the raw edge and your zipper edge. All right, and then double-sided tape across the top edge of this wrong side of the zipper. And we're creating a zipper sandwich. And then take your lining piece and turn it this way and lay that on top. Now ensure that your side edges are even. Your exterior and your lining side edges are even, and line up your top raw edge of your lining along the back side of the zipper. Okay, so this is what we have. We have our zipper sandwich and our zipper is in between. And we're going to stitch the zipper on, and then we're going to flip it and top stitch. Flip it this way and do it that way. Oops. All right, so I'm just going to take my clips and I'm just going to pull my side edges together and line them up. And then I always clip them down onto the zipper. Do that for both ends. And Catherine says she only uses Text 70. I have Text 70, but I really like using the Text 45, the Fusion nylon bonded Text 45 from Emmeline Bags. I'm really enjoying that thread. And I do have the Text 70 nylon bonded from Emmeline Bags as well. But I do like the Text 45. All right, so I'm just clipping everything all around the raw edges. Keep them even. And then just pull up on your, don't pull it too tight, but pull everything, your zipper out so that everything's flat. And then we're going to top stitch along this folded line. And top stitch at 1/8 of an inch seam allowance. This line, this solid vinyl is a little thicker than the quilted pink, so it does want to fight the fold. Get off the tooth there. It's caught in the teeth. All right. Okay. And this is what we have so far. Isn't that fuchsia? It's a pretty thread color. All right. And now, okay, top stitch, lay your sewn panel so that the fabric is on top and your zipper is on the bottom. All right, so we're going to add our zipper pulls to the zipper. Now, I'm going to show you guys this. I'm sure you're all veteran bag makers, but just in case somebody is watching or somebody may watch in the future, because YouTube never goes away. I'm just going to fix my lining. It's kind of bulgy on the back here. I'm just going to show how to do put a zipper pull on. I don't use, there's certain sewing tools that I don't use. I can't use a hump jumper. I use my knee lift to lift the presser foot slightly to get over a hump. And I don't use zipper pull tools. I can't seem to do it. Anyhow, when you're putting a zipper pull on, I'm not sure which way this is going to be going. Anyway, I'm going to put it on from this side. On your zipper tape, one tooth is always going to be sitting higher than the other one. When you pull your zipper tape apart and you take your zipper pull, whatever tooth is sitting the highest, that's the side you start feeding it on first. And it's going to sit wonky, and then you feed the other side in, and it's going to be wonky. And I always keep my finger on this flat edge at the top. Get in there. Okay, and it's going to sit, you can see how it sits wonky. You can see it from this side. There's a bulge here. So keep your finger on here, and then what I do is I manipulate it so that and I kind of move the side that's sitting lower, one tooth at a time, which might be the higher one, and then I push it down, and then you hear a click, and then you put it on, and you should not have any bulge here at all. All right, so Brenna says, lay your sewn panel so that, now are we supposed to sew all around it? No, fold your lining pieces together. Top stitch to the long edge of the zipper, baste around. Oh, okay. So we're supposed to baste around the remaining raw edges. Clearly, I didn't follow the pattern. So let's do that now. Oh, see, my machine doesn't like going over zipper teeth, and my thread breaks, and it doesn't matter whether it's Tex 45 thread, it doesn't matter whether it's Tex 45, it does not like going over zipper teeth. And that can be frustrating. I can have super thick thread in there, and it could still break. And now let's get this thread. Sometimes it can take me hours just to thread the needle. Oh, I got it. Good. Okay. All right, there we go. Let's try this again. This vinyl does have a bit of a stretch to it. Okay. Oh, Cynthia says she's tried to put her zipper on that way too, but her thumbs hurt while trying to get the zipper pull on. I know. And Nancy, hi Nancy, uses Almond Tech 70, which is what I have. And her machine just plows over the zippers. I don't know, this jack just seems to not. All right, so we have the zipper on. I've got the zipper closing to the left. I've got the fabric now basted and closest to me. Add the zipper pulls. You will add one pull on each short end using. Okay, burn your ends. So we will now burn the ends even better. The zipper pull is on. Burn some of those threads. I don't know about my lighter. It does. Sometimes they work and sometimes they don't. All right. And okay, assembling the zipper panel and the gusset. Next, you're going to attach your prepared D-rings. And note, you're not sewing. Okay, so I need my D-rings because I didn't put those on yet. So I've got little 1/2-inch D-rings. And I'll feed those on my D-ring connectors and fold them. I'm probably going to put some tape in between there, if I remember correctly, to hold them together. Okay. Oh, that is fun. Yep. So we're not, when you do your connectors, you're not basting the ends together like we usually do. So I'm just going to open them up again, and I'm going to just lay them flat, and I'm just going to put some 1/4-inch double-sided tape on the inside, so on the edge that's folded, just halfway kind of thing. My double-sided tape is running out. All right, take the backing off and then fold them together and clip them for now. When you clip them or when you fold them, just ensure that your edges are even and one's not sitting over the other one, or one's longer than the other. Yeah. Okay, so you've got your D-ring connectors just like that. Air conditioning's on again, and it's going to be loud. All right, so take the paper off the double-sided away from the zipper. Okay, so in the pattern, okay, so she has the fabric. All right, well, we're going to do it this way. Okay, so we're going to lay, there's a certain measurement in the pattern from here to here, if I'm reading this right. From the middle of the long end, rather you be take the paper off the side and place the zipper pad on the zipper tape. Okay, so with the D-rings pointing inward into the center, we're going to kind of a certain measurement away from the zipper where you've sewn it. And I'm going to clip that on. We're going to have a bit of an overhang, maybe 1/2 inch, maybe. Okay, and I'm just going to clip that on. And we'll do that for the other end, and then I'll make sure that they're both the same length sitting here. One's not longer than the other. Oops. Okay, perfect. All right, so we have them looking like, when I look at the camera doing a live, it's backwards to what I really want to see. Okay. And take the D-rings pointed over and based onto the zipper panel. Okay, so we're going to base the ends onto the zipper panel first. Just watch that when you go over it with your presser foot, that the presser foot doesn't push, because the D-ring connector is thicker. You don't want the presser foot pushing it off kilter. You want to keep it straight. There goes my thread again. See? Anything thick, my machine doesn't like it. That's when I get to edit all this stuff out of a video. Okay. All right, so we have our D-ring connectors basted on. Now, there's a certain measurement, 2 measurements that Brenna has in the pattern. And the first one, and this is where we're going to put our rivets. D-ring. Okay. Oops. All right, so there's the first one, and then the second one is another measurement from the D-ring. So I'm just kind of lining it up where the D-ring ends, and then I'll put my mark, and then do the same on this side. Okay. Get my hole punch. Now you could put double-sided tape under here, which I think I just might do because I don't want these moving on me when I go to punch my holes. I think I did that with the other bags. All right, so I'm just going to lay it in the center, and it'll keep my D-ring connector straight. So I put it on the underside. Because sure as shooting, it'll move on me. Okay, I think that's straight. And on the other side as well. Okay, and I've made my marks to what Brenna has in the pattern on both sides. And now I will punch those holes, ensuring that they're centered in between the 2 stitch lines on my D-ring connector. Oh, and it went through the vinyl because sometimes that's one of the things I was having trouble with this punch is it wasn't punching through the waterproof nylon. And now it is because, well, I figured out how to how it was supposed to work. There we go. Perfect. Okay. Where's my rivet? Oh, there they are. So I need 4 rivets and 4 caps. Okay, pop the posts in. And the caps. Hi, Holly. And Trisha from Iowa. Oh, thank you for watching, Trisha. Thanks for being brand new as well. I hope I'm not missing anybody else. Oh, and Anne Marie is from Norway. and the city top of the world Hammersfest. Wow, you must be almost near the North Pole. Welcome, everybody. I hope I haven't missed anybody. Oh, and Mary Kelly from Florida. Bunch of new people. So Anne-Marie from Norway, somebody, Ida from Norway, contacted me on Messenger, Facebook Messenger, and I'm not going to even attempt to say the last name or your last name, and asked me if I was going to be doing, Holly, listen to this, a tutorial on the Andy backpack. So for those who missed it at the beginning, and I'll show it at the end again, I've got sitting in my YouTube arsenal of videos yet to publish, tutorials, the Andy backpack from Purses by Holly, and that's Holly who's watching, and also the Lucy Long wallet from Purses by Holly. So Holly, I'm going to be doing two of your bags are going to be featured soon. All right, and Holly does say very pretty. I love the pink and black together. Yeah, it's really, really nice. Okay, so there we have our rivets on our D-ring connectors. And I'm gabbing a lot. I know. I always gab. I gab a lot. Okay, so now we're going to assemble the zipper panel and gusset. Okay, so take the lining piece C and place it on it to then place. I'm just seeing what she's got here, if it's the same way as doing the gusset. I think it's the same way. All right. So we're going to be taking our pattern piece C. We have one exterior and one lining. And they do fit perfectly. Beautiful. All right. So I'm going to take double-sided tape, and I'm going to go across the top edge. I'm not trimming any of these extra ends. They're going to sit inside the gusset. So right side up, I'm going to put double-sided tape across the top end of where the zipper and the top edge of the zipper, just like that, on the right side. And I'll do that on the other side as well, because we'll need it. Go right across all of that. Oh, Holly says, I can't wait. I use, this is from Waywack. I don't know if I'm saying it right, but anyways, this is the Hyper Stick double-sided tape, and it's the only thing that likes nylon. Okay, so I'm going to take the double-sided tape backing off one of those ends and right sides together with your pattern piece C, which is the gusset. We're going to line up our, it's better to see this way on the wrong side. Well, maybe not. All right. We're going to line up our edges. Center it if you have to. If your gusset is slightly larger than your zipper gusset, then center those two, and we can adjust those little ends that might be hanging out. All right, so you can see that it's a little longer on each end. So, and then flip it over to the lining side up, put double-sided tape across this edge. Sticking to me. Okay, and then take your lining piece and right sides together with this lining side, line up and make sure that your edges on your exterior. So we're making another zipper gusset sandwich, just like this. We're going to stitch across there, and then we're going to flip it and top stitch. So we're going to stitch across at the seam allowance in the pattern. Come on. Whoa. And then we're going to flip it so that the lining, the wrong side of the exterior and the wrong side of the lining are together. And then we're going to top stitch down this folded edge. Get over that hump. Okay, and then we already have double-sided tape on the right side of the exterior. So take the backing off of that. And then take your other end of your exterior and then line that up, right sides together. And center your gusset over top of that. Flip it over to the lining side up and put double-sided tape across that, that short edge again. Oops, sticking. Really stick your tape down if it's hot and muggy out. And then take the right side of your lining and put it together with the right side of this lining. So you're going to have a bit of a pulling going on here. Now I'm going to clip it because that will help as well. Help hold it on a bit. All right, and then we're going to stitch across here at the seam allowance in the pattern, and then we'll continue on with top stitching everything, closing everything up. Oh, there goes the thread again. Ooh. Very frustrating, but it is thin thread, especially for an industrial machine. So, but I didn't have anything to use that would be pinkish. I don't think burnt orange would have worked very well either, but there we go. Sorry, guys. Okay. Turn so that you're right side out for now. And then pull burn some threads here. Okay. Pull your lining and your exterior together, and we're going to clip it. Clip all the raw edges together on both sides. So check out Holly's pattern as well. Purses by Holly on Etsy. She has some really nice bags there. And I also, one of my tutorials I did was the Desert Crossbody, which is one of Holly's bags. Okay, so we have those edges all clipped. We haven't top stitched this edge yet. Turn it inside out, so lining side out, and I'm going to start where we top stitched, based all the way down one of these. Hold on, where am I? I'm going to start, where am I? Okay, here, based all the way down and then across, top stitch across this end and then based up the other side. There we go. Let's see where I am. Good grief. All right, start to, ouch. Remind me not to use glide thread again, guys. Not in this machine anyways. I'm not sure why it's recommended for bag making, but definitely you can use it in a domestic machine for sure. All right, let's do this again. At least we're just basting. All right, so now I'm going over that folded end to top stitch it. Air conditioning's on, it'll be noisy. Hand cranking over top of the zipper teeth. Oh, okay, how frustrating is this? Sorry. Get out here. It's one thing when this happens when you're recording. Nobody hears you swear. Where am I? Right here. All right, now we have our edges basted. Oops. Okay. And I've top stitched the ends, whichever end it was, and all of our edges are all basted. Now take your, so we can see here that we do have a little bit of extra overhang on the edges. So just take your scissors and trim it, just kind of trim it and graduate it towards that zipper. Kind of just trim it and blend it in with the zipper tape and your other gusset, zipper gusset. But don't cut your zipper tape. So there, I've kind of just trimmed it. There, you can see it like that, and it just kind of graduates to there. All right, take your two top stitched ends, line them up, and on the bottom of the gusset, fold it and make a little center mark there on both sides of the gusset here. And then ensure that your center mark is marked on this side. I can do it on the vinyl. And then on my zipper tape, I'll just take my pen and make a little mark within the seam allowance. Okay, so we have all our centers marked on our gusset. And then we're going to just mark our centers on our front and back panel. You just have to do the top. I should have done these before I put my bag tag on. Okay. Do my top and bottom centers on these. Okay. Now, one of the things that I do before I put a gusset on my front and back panels, some people staple the gusset onto the front and back panels. I use double-sided tape. It works. It works for me. All right. So I just, on the right side, I put double-sided tape all the way around the edges of our panels. Both of them. This way, if you see any little threads sticking up, you can stick them under that double-sided tape so that they don't pop out through your, after you've sewn your panels on, and they're not sticking out. Okay, and I'm still clipping, even though I've got the tape on, I'll still clip. All right, so I'm just going to take the double-sided tape backing off the front panel. Okay, and this is how it's going. Okay, that's the front. My zipper, you can have your zipper open. Turn this inside, so lining side up, out, like that. And I'm going to line up the center of my zipper with the top edge of that because the zipper's at the front of the bag. So line up your centers, stick it all together. You see me better back here, I guess. I'm still going to clip. So I'm going to clip along the straight edges on the top and the straight edges on the bottom. If you need your zipper open to give you a little bit more room, that's okay too. And then line up my gusset centers with bottom center of the front panel. If you haven't made this bag, guys, you've got to get the pattern. It is such a cute bag to make. So Brenna, keep posting your pattern link. All right, now I'm going to work the zipper. I'm going to undo my zipper tape, my zipper pull. All right, I'm going to work the zipper around the curves and see how everything, and of course we don't want to cut our zipper. Get that around the curves. And hopefully, if I remember correctly, I don't have to cut into the gusset to get around the corners because everything fits so perfectly. Another trick also is if you have it so that the gusset is down and your panel is sitting up facing you, if you push your panel down a little bit so it looks like it's a bowl, that also helps work in your front and back panel with the gusset, and it helps ease it in without having to cut anything and without getting any puckers. I am going to have to snip a little bit into that gusset, just within my basting seam allowance. And I probably won't have to on the other side. Okay, and then we'll just splay that open and ease that in. Perfect. Okay, and then we'll work the other side. Oh, we've been on almost 2 hours. Holy smokes. Okay. It's not a super big fast bait. Okay, let's turn it this way and see how I'm going to just snip into that gusset. Oops. But definitely putting the double-sided tape on here really helps when you attach a gusset on. Okay, so I'm going to baste all the way around at 1/8 of an inch seam allowance. Get rid of those clips. And then when I sew my binding on, it'll be sewn at the seam allowance in the pattern. Oops. Probably have to pull your zipper out of the way. Watch for puckers on your zipper going around those corners. But definitely having the double-sided tape there really helps. I did try the staple method and I really hated it. It just, you know, it just took too long for me to staple everything, and then you had to pull the staples out after. So I like fast. I like coming up with systems too. I think I was telling Cynthia that when we were texting the other day. I'm a systems girl. Comes from 30 years as a school secretary. Is everybody good to stay still? Oh, Cynthia says, take your time. She can watch me all day. Oh my goodness. Yeah, for me, there's certain things I don't mind doing, but there's certain things I really don't like doing. Hand sewing, oh, can't stand it. My mom taught us when we were kids how to embroider by hand. You know, I was always in too much of a hurry. All right, so there I have it basted on, and now we're going to do exactly the same thing with the back panel, and make sure. Like I knew what was the top and bottom on the front panel. That was a no-brainer because my tag's there. Now I have to make sure that when I put this back panel on, because there's the card slots, the 2 sets of card slots, that I have the right side, the top with the top, because I have done it putting it on upside down. Nothing more frustrating than that, I'll tell you. Or when you put zipper tabs, Like, how many people have done that where you put the zipper tabs on each end of your zipper, and it looks beautiful, and your top stitching each on the ends of your zipper tabs look wonderful, and then you look and you haven't even put your zipper pull on. I have done that many times too. It's like, holy crow, Murphy's Law. All right, let's just work this around. This will be faster because I'm not working around that zipper. And Nicole says she loves hand stitching. Oh my goodness. But you're a quilter too, so you must quilt. You must hand stitch when you quilt. I'm not. I want fast, fast, fast. I guess we all have, you know, our own likes and dislikes. It's like one of the school secretaries I worked with. She was quite a character. She always had sayings, and she always said, like when we were in collective agreement negotiations with the board. I was on our union executive for quite a number of years. Anyways, she'd say to them, "You can't get blood from a stone." You know, meaning like we've already given everything we've got to give. You can't get any more out of us. And then she always would say, "We all have our place under the sun," which is true. We all have our many gifts, and we're all different, which is why we're all made different, because God forbid if there was a clone of me, my husband wouldn't be happy. All right, I've got that all clipped, and I'm going to base that around at 1/8 of an inch seam allowance as well. But that's why we're all individuals, and we're all unique people. And everybody being an individual, that's, you know, we all have our own uniqueness and our own personalities. And that's what makes us each a special person. And we're almost there, guys. Honestly, it's just the binding that has to be done. Just watch when you go around the this gusset at the top end that those D-ring connectors don't get, because they're pretty close to your stitch line. So just make sure that they don't get caught. Okay. If there's any trimming that you need to do around your corners, anything like that, that's a little rough on the edges, then do that before we do our binding. So this is where we're at right now. Now, the binding that I use, some people can use the, just gotta find it now. Oh, here it is. I'm going to use beige. You can cut strips of the matching lining that you use. And but what I use is 1 inch grosgrain ribbon, And I just fold it over top of the seam, making sure, and a grosgrain ribbon is great because it's a finished edge on each side. I just fold it over top and then I sew it. So I do have to do, I'm not going to worry about a thread change. So I just have beige, I don't have pink, and I'm not putting red in there. So all I do is I just take it or go around, just kind of feed it around my edges here. I don't do any measuring, and then I kind of cut a little extra, and then it should be the same for the other side. The grosgrain ribbon, I get a large roll of it, I don't know, 50 yards or more from Amazon, of course. All right, take your lighter. There it is. Just burn your ends, because it does fray. All right, and then we're going to clip this on. I could use double-sided tape, but it just will take too long. All right, so I'm just going to start. A lot of times you can start, so I'm going to start on the front end where the zipper is, because I do the grosgrain a little different, because this zipper tape is pretty close to the binding, and you don't want it getting in the way of the binding. So I'm going to start, I just fold the raw end over on one end, and I'm just going to start around the side here, because then you're not looking down into the bag. Fold it over and just clip, clip, clip. Oh, that's right in the zipper. I don't want it around the zipper yet. So I'll start further down along the side, not on the bottom, and so that way you're not looking down into where you've got it seamed. And then I just feed it around. We all know how to do binding. Move down this way, you can see me a bit better, I guess. Fold it so that they both edges meet on either side. I'm glad it's a small bag. It's not a big one that I have to feed the binding around. But I do like using grosgrain ribbon best. I have a roll of black and red. And I mean, a lot of times those colors work for a lot of things, depending on the color of lining I'm using as well. And sometimes I do cut the matching lining if I have enough. All right, so I'm coming up to the zipper. So one of the things I do, because if I was to fold it over just in half, then if I sew it, then it could be in the way of the maneuvering of the zipper. So I'm going to, what I do is on the side closest to the zipper, I kind of fold that under so that it's almost in half. And then I have a narrower, see what I mean? I have a narrower binding going around the zipper. Instead of it being wide, I have it kind of narrow like that. And then that helps get around that zipper without it being so thick, the binding around the zipper, if that makes sense. And it's still making sure that it's covering that seam allowance, which is why I basted an 1/8. And then just still fold that around, clip it a lot. Well, Cynthia's going to try grosgrain as well. I love it. And it's not expensive. You know, you might, even at your local fabric store, it might be cheap, but I get the bulk roll. roll from Amazon. And if the color doesn't quite match, that's okay too. I am a perfectionist, but sometimes, you know what? if you don't have all the right things, it's okay. Like, I'm not going to go out and spend a fortune just to make sure I have exactly the right things all the time. You know, you learn to make do with what you have as well. Unless, of course, it's a custom bag for somebody. Okay, so as you can see, I'm kind of feeding that around quite narrow, whereas it's quite thick. It's, you know, 1/2 inch here where it's a 1/8 of an inch or 1/4 of an inch there, going around the zipper. Just as long as you catch that seam allowance that you basted in. And the beauty of the grosgrain is there's no right or wrong side. So, at least I don't think there is anyway. All right, and we're coming up to the side. Still keeping this folded because I'm still at that zipper. This is a little tighter to, takes a little longer to do it around the zipper, which is why I wanted to do it first. Okay. And I'll just fold this raw edge, so we're at the edge there. And I'll fold that under. And yes, I will be using this pink thread. Maybe I shouldn't, but okay, there it's all clipped. You can see it's a lot narrower at the zipper, but just as long as it's catching that the zipper seam allowance. All right, so we're going to just start sewing this on at 1/8 of an inch from the edge of the edge closest to the inner edge of the bag, and that'll give you 1/4 of an inch seam allowance. Okay, so let's just go over that back stitch. Use your stylus if you need to, especially when you get to those folded ends. All right, now I'm coming up to where I've got it folded. Move the zipper pull out of the way. Can't get my clips out. They're getting caught on my stitch plate. Oops, it came off the back. Okay, the reveal on this side to see if I caught everything underneath. Not too bad. Okay, there we go. That's the one side. All right, now let's put it all on to the other side, which should go a lot faster. I'll do this one up around the top now too, since we don't have a zipper to maneuver around. So who already has the pattern? The Magnolia Rae. Who already has it besides me? And Cynthia won it. Can't believe it, almost 3 hours for a tiny little bag. Okay, MS Attitude has it. Have you made it yet? Not yet. Oh, Catherine, you have it. You have the pattern, or you haven't made one, or you haven't purchased one yet. Yeah, it's been almost, well, what is it? 2:30? No, 3:30. Oh my God, it's been 2 hours. Yeah, we started at 1:30, 2:30, 3:30. Okay, we're at 2 hours, just over 2 hours. I count on my fingers. All right, we're almost there. Yay. All right, I'm just going to trim that off. Oops. This will be faster to sew this one on than around the zipper. At least I hope so anyway. Okay, all clipped on, and I'm going to now stitch all the way around here. And what I mean is when I stitch it on, I stitch it right on the inside edge of the grosgrain ribbon. I stitch 1/8 of an inch from that point, and that should catch it underneath as well. And that gives you your about 1/4 of an inch seam allowance in total. Get under there, baby. Okay, my feet. Your D-ring connectors are out of the way. Good. Everything's getting caught underneath. It's always a good sign. Oh, it's getting these clips out. They get tight in there with the presser foot. Oh, Nicole, you'll have to get the pattern. There we go, wrestling this bag. Almost done. Woo! On the home stretch. The marathon. Okay, all done. Okay, let's just hold on. I'm going to pull you guys up, turn you over this way, and turn you up. And I hope I don't pull my tablet off my magnet. Okay. Sorry. Okay, now you can see me. And the air conditioning comes on. All right, so there it is, all done. And I put my card slots in the right way, going the right way. And just check them, just so that we can see, because we never check them, my Canadian dental plan. And you know what? There's room that you could probably put 2 card slots in each slot. But I just thought it would be nice for my friend. She's going to be having major surgery in about a week or 2, and she loves pink. Oh, she just as much as I love purple. And I just thought, you know, this might be something happy for her major surgery that she's going to have. All right, we're turning it. What is it? Keziah says, turn and burn. Burn and turn and burn. Okay. Now, if you have, I give this tip in my tutorials, but when you're turning your bag, and you know how you kind of have your seams kind of looking like that, they don't look crisp. I would love if there was any suggestions on how to get super, super crisp seams so they look like that. But anyhow, one of the things that I do is, you know, they say stuff your bag with tea towels or towels, and, you know, it'll help train your seams. So what I do is I take towels or tea towels, like tea towels for this bag because it's small, and I'll run them in a hot dryer, 20 minutes, half an hour, whatever, get them really, really hot. And then when you pull them out of the dryer, stuff your bag with them. Let's turn you up a little bit here. Okay, just trying to hold my tablet on at the same time. And stuff your bag as you pull them out of your dryer. And the heat, leave them in at least 24 hours because the heat will stay in the bag and it'll help Stretch your fabric. It'll help your seams get set. Nicole says at the end of the tunnel with all of her quilting stuff. Oh, that's great. What's a UFO? Other than unidentified flying object. What's a UFO, Nicole? I see acronyms for things, and I'm like, what is that? All I know is LMO or LMAO, laughing my ass off. So anyway. Okay. All right. Here it is, guys. The Magnolia Rae, it's, you know, it's kind of squishy, but the Magnolia Rae tumbler pouch without the tumbler pouch on it. And we have the two sets of card slots. So instead of 3 card slots, we have 6 card slots with the potential of doubling up them. But yeah, what's a UFO? Thanks, Cynthia. All right, so there it is with the crossbody strap, and then I'll see if this needs to be shortened. Because if I have to shorten this, then I'll just cut the swivel clasp off, and I'll just shorten it this way and then re-rivet it. So, okay, so I'm just reading Nicole. So because Nicole says she's getting strides in all her UFOs. I'm still waiting to see what UFO means. All right, there is, I don't know if Brenna's still here or not, but there is the Magnolia Rae tumbler pouch. I'm sure when it's stuffed, but isn't that adorable? How cute is this little bag? Unfinished projects. Okay. UFO, unfinished object of project. Oh, okay. BL teaser, you're new too. If you're new, welcome. I haven't seen your name here before. How many do we have watching? Oh, we have 20 watching. That's great. Okay, so it's an unfinished object of project. Okay, so I've seen WIP, W-I-P, which is a work in progress. And I didn't know what that was. I had to look it up. All right, there is our modified Magnolia Rae tumbler pouch in Barbie pink. My girlfriend is going to absolutely love that. And we have the lots of room inside. And I wanted to make this kind of slouchy, so if she wants to put anything in it, so like my phone will fit in there beautifully. Lots of room still to put things, and we have, you know, the 3 card slots and 3 card slots, so that if she just wants to take this with her to the hospital with the things that she may need, her phone will fit in there perfectly. So anyhow, that is, so Brenna, if you're still here, Cynthia says, glad in exchange to our conversation. Happy you commented. Yes. Oh, you mostly watch, but we haven't seen you before. But so thanks for commenting, and thanks for letting us know you're here. All right. So Holly, if you're still here, this is what I showed at the beginning of the live. So sitting in, like I said before, sitting in my YouTube land processing, waiting for me to publish live tutorials. I have 2 tutorials sitting there, and they are 2 of Holly, Purses by Holly patterns. Oh, Nicole says the WIP, the work in progress, is the newer term. All right, so one of the tutorials is going to be the Lucy Long wallet. And of course, this is all Sam fabric creation, except for this light blue is vinyl that I got from my local Walmart. But isn't this pretty? Look at the rivets. If you have conch type rivets, you can make a real Southwestern look. But this fabric, of course, is from Sam Fabric. It has blue in the croco and then super dark navy, which I thought was black. You can see it a little better. See, isn't that pretty? And then inside, it has 2 magnetic snaps. It has a wristlet. Now, I use the bottle cap style for the zipper pull, so I attach the wristlet clasp onto the zipper. So you have on this side, you have like an ID pocket or business cards. You have a nice generous size zipper pocket. The lining is from Sam Fabric as well. You have a slip pocket and a slip pocket. Now Barbie has done these. Barbie's done these a couple of lives and tutorials on this particular wallet. And then you have 8 card slots. Now, when I do my card slots, this is, of course, using the landscape fabric to create your card slots on the back side. I double stitch across my card slot. Now, inside, you can see that it's silver. So what that silver material is, it's RFID. So that supposedly nobody can scan your cards. And it has this beautiful accent to go around your cards. So that is the Lucy Long wallet. So expect to see that sometime at a theater near you. And so Ida from Norway contacted, Cynthia says, yeah, that would make a good fundraiser item in dog paw prints. So Cynthia did the juniper wallet in the paw prints, and she posted that on my Facebook group. So if you haven't joined my 360 Handmade Bags Facebook group, join that. The link is in the description box below. And so Cynthia posted that on the Facebook group, and then she just did the Yoshi, because that's another tutorial that I just did. So that's the Yoshi sling bag with the hidden zipper up there. You have 2 zipper pockets on the front. You have a welt pocket on the back for your phone, and you have stuff inside. But that's, so Cynthia did a Yoshi that she sent me a picture of with cat print fabric, which was really cute. So Ida from Norway contacted me last week, I think, wanting to know if I was going to do the Andy backpack from Purses by Holly. So here's my version, and that's why I made the Lucy Long wallet to match this bag. But look at that, and it has that blue croco with the dark navy. Now, along this edge, you can do a lot of. I had it all the same color, but you can take this edge and have a contrasting or coordinating color if you want. I just chose to do it all the same, and it has a slip pocket on the side and a slip pocket on the side. Lots of room for my Samsung S25 Ultra, and it won't come out. And you can probably put a water bottle in there too. On the back, I used webbing, 1-inch seatbelt webbing that, of course, I got on Amazon, 50 yards or whatever. And then the other vinyl I used, and it's all from Sam Fabric. All fabric that I've used is from Sam Fabric, is the solid navy. And then you have this secure back pocket as well. There's the lining that I used from Sam Fabric. So this is a great zipper pocket with a covered zipper. And then inside, you have this really nice handle too, and it kind of swings. One of the things also is that it asks for rectangle rings, and one of the things I don't typically carry in my hardware stash are rectangle rings, and I make my own. So when you have one of those metal tri-glides and you've got that movable bar in the center, I just take my pliers, my needle nose pliers, and pull the bar off. And then I've created my own rectangle ring, a lot cheaper. So there it has a really nice grab handle. It has a turn lock. And then inside, it has, your sides are magnetic snap sides. The patterns that Holly writes are very, very well written. Her pictures are amazing. Yeah, thanks, Nicole. Yeah, hit the like button, everybody. There's only one light going on here that I can see. Mind you, if I refresh, I'll probably see more. I just hit the like button myself, too. And then inside, look at the size of this bag. And that lining is gorgeous. So on the back wall, we have this large zipper. pocket with a nice zipper facing. And then on the front wall, a little hard to see because it's further down, there's a double slip pocket. There's two slip pockets, but it's hard to see. There we go. But look at the size. Look at how big that is. This would be a great work bag or a student bag or anything like that. And I like the fact that you've got the magnetic snaps to tighten it up. The measurement really isn't a big bag. I don't have the measurement handy. It's just taller, but it makes a really nice backpack. So you've got to get the Andy backpack. I'm not sure if it's still on sale. Holly did have it on sale. I'm not sure. I don't think I have the link in the pattern, but Purses by Holly is on Etsy, and you can get her pattern as well. So thank you, everybody, for spending your Sunday afternoon with me, making our Barbie pink Magnolia Rae traveler pouch without the traveler part. And if you missed the beginning and you haven't seen this pattern before, this is the very, very first one that I made. And, you know, it has the strap. You can make a wristlet with it. And then it has this really cute Velcro or hook and loop or whatever you want to call it, strap that it goes around your tumbler, and it attaches on the back of your bag through here. And then you can hold this bag on to your tumbler and go walking, and you've got all of your essentials that you need. This one only has the 3 card slots, but I've just shown you today how to make it with 6 card slots. So, all right. Thanks, Cynthia. Thanks, Nicole. Thanks, Brenna. And thanks, everybody, for being here. And I really appreciate it. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday. I can't believe it. We're almost at the end of June already. Where's the time gone? All right, hold on. Come on, Murphy. All right, he's got to come and say goodbye. This is Murphy, and usually Frankie comes in. She's usually in here checking everything out as well, but you see them on my little animation, Murphy, and of course Frankie, and they're always in here. And Jim you never see. He's always out watching TV. And anyhow, thanks so much, everybody, for being here. I really appreciate it. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday, and if you can, stay cool. So take care, and we'll see you the next time.